losing money. So hopefully, you guys can learn something from this video, and hopefully you can apply some of the mistakes that I made to your trading, and hopefully it helps. So I've been learning how to trade since about 2019, and I wasn't really consistent until about, I say, like 2023. And that's crazy to learn something for that long, but I was just kind of procrastinating. I was, doing my research and stuff, like learning how to do it, but I never actually did it. And I took on my first trade. It was the start of 2023. And first trade that I took, I made like $70 in like a couple of seconds. And I was like, oh, wow, like this is great. And then from that, I kept going on and on and on and making mistakes along the way. Last year, in total losses, I lost about like $3,500. Now, with what I trade with, that's a lot of money. That's like almost like 50% of my account now. And I was able to come back from that $3,500 total loss. And now I'm like right at the break even mark. And if I had to pick like the top 5 mistakes that I made like along the way, here's what they would be. I got them in my notes on my phone. So the number one mistake that I often make is going in with too much size. Let's say you have $1,000 in your account and you want to trade a stock that trades at $10 a share, and you go in with your full account size, and then the stock starts to drop. Because you're in with so much money, you tend to be like more emotional, and your decision making and your strategizing and stuff is not like where it should be. I've noticed that most of my trades that I made that were really good is when I'm like in with a little bit of money, or in with a dollar amount that I'm willing to lose, a certain amount of. And when I really have like no emotion tied to it. If you're in with $1,000 and you lost $500, you're going to be furious and you're going to make impulsive decisions. Your mind's not going to be right. So going in with too much size is definitely probably my biggest mistake. And you only go in with a certain amount of size, and I'll eventually start sharing my screen and stuff, in later videos to actually show you guys. But you want to go in with, a lot of your account size if you know that direction is in your favor. Direction is not in your favor, then don't go in with your whole account size, because you'll often lose more times than you win, and it's not a good feeling. Now, the second mistake that I made, and these are not in order from like 1 to 5, these are just general mistakes. The second mistake that I make very often is rushing into a trade, or just having FOMO. The market's open for like 8 something hours, right? And because of my job and stuff, I do work during the day, so I only have a limited time to actually sit here in front of my computer and take trades, out the year. But I've noticed that like I'll take a trade sometimes right at market open. Like a stock will be going up, and then I'll hop into it, and then it'll quickly start to go down. I got caught into a bull trap, and sometimes that worked, but more times than not, I got caught on the wrong side of it. So I started to be a little bit more patient and kind of wait for direction to prove itself. Like maybe there's no time limit. Like some people say they'll wait for like 30 minutes till after the market open and make a trade, or an hour or so, but there's no time limit because the market presents, different opportunities every single day, and you can't, it's not some pattern that you can like pick and lock down. Of course, there's certain patterns of stuff that you can pick up on, but every single day is going to be different, and every single day does not have to be the same as yesterday. And I think I kind of learned that the hard way. So yeah. And then mistake number 3, and this is a big mistake, and this is probably the most painful one, and it is not taking profits. For all of you out there that is trading, or if this is something that you want to get into, let's say that you're taking a trade, right? And you're up $86, but you want to get to that 100 mark so bad. You want to get to that 100 mark just so you can, post your screenshot or whatever, or feel good because you made 100. More often times than not, when I do that, when I'm trying to chase a certain dollar amount and I'm waiting like, oh, can my trade get to this, or can my trade get to that? it ends up turning against me. And that is the worst feeling, is when you could be up a certain amount, when you was up a certain amount, and then because you were greedy, because you didn't lock in profits, now you're down. Now you're in the red, and you don't want to lock in your losses because you were just up, and you're hoping, like, and you're praying for that stock just to go back where it was, or even break even, so you don't lose any money. So that's a big mistake. And what's that? Number three. That was number three. Yeah, that was number three. Number four, over trading. Guys, you do not have to trade every day, even though you want to, even though, sometimes I do it. I still take breaks. Like, I'll pay attention to the market, most days. But if it's not, presenting me with a clear opportunity, then I won't take a trade. And it didn't used to always be like this. I used to be like, man, I got to trade every single day. I got to get better. And rightfully so, right? Because, I'm still a beginner and I'm trying to get better. So I'm trying to get more market exposure. But over trading is like a killer. Or even when you take a bad trade and you're down and you try so hard to make that money back, and you don't make it back, like, you end up losing more money. So over trading is a killer. Remember that you do not have to trade every single day. Not trading is a skill within itself, because you can, delay the opportunity of making money or losing money and just sit cash and wait for an opportunity to present yourself. Excuse me. Now, was that was true? That was four. Yeah. Now number five. Number five is a mistake, and it's kind of iffy. It's not trusting myself. There's been so many times where I would call out something, and I would, like, call it out in my head, be like, "Oh, because of this, I think this is gonna happen." And I don't take the trade. Like, I don't put any money behind it, and it usually goes according to plan. But when I do put money behind some of my trades, it doesn't end up going according to plan. So, it's just the name of the game. You're gonna lose money. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. But you should trust yourself. Like, if you have an idea and you have your reasoning behind why you think this is going to do that, then trust yourself enough to take the trade. And I think I wasn't trusting myself enough because I was losing so much before then. I was, I had weeks, I had months where I didn't see, like, a green trade, and I wanted to give up, like, so bad, because, like, I'm like, is this shit really for me? I could use this money for something else, this, that, and the third. And yeah, it was just all over the place. But if I would have trusted myself in those moments and not worried about, hey, I could lose a lot of money. Of course, you want to keep, risk in mind. You always want to go into a trade thinking, okay, I'm going to lose this much. And when you do that, your trades tend to be better, at least for me. So not trusting myself is number five. And I'm going to get into a lot more mistakes and some of the things that I did good, in later videos. I just wanted to make this video to kind of help anybody out there that's going through what I'm going through, that's thinking about quitting because they've been losing this entire time. This is a message from me. I've lost $3,500 last year. I lost like $1,400 in one single trade. And I'm not wealthy or anything. I don't have money to lose, right? But I do see the bigger picture with this, and I don't think that I'm ever going to give up. I can lose my entire account size today, and I'm going to keep going until I make it. You know, because there are people that are successful at trading, and there are people that are that lose money. What is it, like 80 something percent of day traders all lose money? Why not be a part of that 20%? That makes money. It's a better feeling because there's so many people doing it, and there's so many people that's bad at it. But you can be the one. You can be the one if you dedicate the time and the effort, and you never give up. You can be the one that makes it in this market. And there's so much money to be made, so much opportunities to be made, and I want to take advantage of some of those opportunities. So just keep going, man. I'm never gonna quit. Hopefully, I can look at this video a couple years from now and be like, I'm glad that I did that. I'm glad that I didn't quit. And hopefully, along my journey, I can help you guys. I mean, it's not, a huge win, but I went from being down $3,500 to being at break even. And hopefully, I can be a little bit more profitable till then. So I feel like I'm taking steps in the right direction. I know a bad day is right around the corner, and I'm trying to prepare for it. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Consider dropping a like, comment. If you guys made any trading mistakes or your biggest mistakes. So I like to interact with you guys and hear certain things. So just drop a comment and like the video, man. Appreciate y'all watching.